Bandwidth Boys Podcast. We talk about stuff, tech stuff.
Welcome into another episode of the Bandwidth Boys Podcast, episode 3. I'm Kanale. You're gonna.
Oh, and I'm Matt.
Oh, hey, Matt's
Hey,
here.
yeah, I'm here.
Matt's here. Matt, we have a new little workflow here, and Matt couldn't keep up, but it's okay. Welcome in. As you can tell, we're one player down. Greg Mills, who is usually the guy from Spokane, unfortunately can't make it tonight. The reason he can't make it is because this past week, our area, the inland northwest, or I guess all of Washington, it hit, didn't it? All of Washington. We had a giant windstorm. We had sustained winds of 40 miles an hour here in Pullman, up in Spokane a little more, and then gust of up to 60, 70 miles an hour. And I'm going to share my screen real fast so you can see what Greg is dealing with at the current moment. He's got more important things. This is his house right here. This was in the back of his house. Tree fell, a couple wires under it, but his chicken coop got destroyed. But the chickens are alive. So if anyone was ever worried about it, don't worry. His chickens are good. So
The Mills chickens are good.
The Mills chickens are good. And Greg said that the storm happened at night. They woke up the next morning, and there were eggs for them to eat. So the chickens are still doing their job. So he won't be with us this week, but he'll join us back in 2 weeks. Next week, just a programming note, we won't have a podcast so we can spend time with our families and really be thankful. Right, Matt? For life.
Yeah, something like that.
And this
right?
podcast.
Yeah.
Something like that. But anyways, the show continues. Let's get to it. Time for the news.
Hit the button.
What's going on in tech world?
I couldn't find the button.
It's hard to read, right?
I'm getting old.
Got little buttons there. Who knew Yahoo Mail was still a thing? But I guess it is.
My mom does.
Your mom still uses Yahoo?
At yahoo.com.
That's old school right there.
Yeah, she's old.
This week, Yahoo rolled out a test for some of its users. The test? Well, it prevents users who are using ad blockers from entering their mailboxes.
I bet people who use Yahoo Mail don't understand what ad blocker is. So
Yeah, that's fine. They probably don't even use them anyway.
they probably don't even use it. That's what I'm saying.
That's why it made so much sense. A Yahoo spokesperson confirmed to The Verge that this test was indeed underway, but said it was only put in place to a small number of users. At Yahoo, we are continually developing and testing new product experiences, end quote. I guess I should have said that was a quote.
Whatever.
According to a forum post, when users attempt to access Yahoo Mail, they're greeted by an error message. Uh-oh, we're unable to display Yahoo Mail. Please disable ad block to continue using Yahoo Mail. Well, that's fine. No one uses Yahoo Mail anymore.
That's what I'm saying. Next up, bad news for those who have stayed at a hotel recently. If you stayed at a Sheraton, Westin, or other Starwood hotels in the U.S. or Canada, you might want to keep an eye on your bank account. Starwood Hotels and Resorts Worldwide says 50 of their hotels' point-of-sale system were infected with malicious software. According to CNET.com, the malicious software was installed at gift shops, restaurants, and other locations. The software allowed hackers to make off with payment card data, names, credit card numbers, and more. If you think you're affected, visit our website, bandwidthboys.com, for a secure notice from the company.
10. That's the magic number when it comes to Microsoft.
I love that number.
As Microsoft tries to tempt people to the dark side. It is the very, very dark side. Upgrading to Windows 10. They've cut prices in their Windows Store. Their giant promotion cuts thousands of movies, music, apps, and books to just 10 cents. Justin Bieber.
I knew that Matt wouldn't read this before the show, so I had to throw in a JB reference.
Justin Bieber fans can get excited. His song, What Do You Mean, is one of those songs that's on the promotions list.
Number 1 on my iPod.
John Legend's All of Me, Hitman Go, Angry Birds, Star Wars, Assassin's Creed Pirates, and Reckless Racing Ultimate are some of the highlights. There's even applications at just 10 cents, including IM Plus Pro, Sticky Notes Pro, and a variety of unnecessary zip extractors. Sale ends November 29th. I love how adding a plus to the end of an app makes it you can charge for it, right?
That's
It
what
makes it
I'm
better.
saying. All right, Samsung. I'm actually kind of excited about this story. I may have to look into it. Samsung's VR, known as Gear VR, VR stands for virtual reality for those who don't know, looks like a home run in terms of sales. This week, Samsung Gear VR sold out on Amazon and at Best Buy. A Samsung rep says, we are delighted with the overwhelmingly positive response to Gear VR has received from viewers and eager buyers alike. Samsung, if you're listening, I'll be happy to review it for you. Just email us, questions@bandwidthboys.com. We're working hard to fulfill all orders as quickly as possible. If you're still looking for a unit, best bet is to look on the Samsung website.
Comcast Stream TV service won't count towards your data cap, and that's good news for some. Last week, we introduced you to Comcast's newest service for cord cutters. This week, we found out that content streamed on Stream TV will not count towards your internet data cap.
Very exciting.
Comcast also says the service will not impact your data speeds. They'll route the data over bandwidth you're not paying for. Oh, really? Comcast says Stream TV is a cable streaming service delivered over Comcast cable system, not over the internet.
Nope, not over the internet.
Well,
That's
okay.
what they're saying. And that's a wrap on what's going on, Tech World. All right, that's a quick look at what's happening in the tech world for this week. Like we said, Greg is out this week, so it's just Matt and I holding down the fort here at the Bandwidth Boys podcast. And Greg, come back as soon as you can because it's going to get mighty nasty here.
We're going to get off track.
Went very off track. All right, so the last story we talked about in our news segment was Comcast's Stream TV. We talked about it last week, where cord cutters are very excited because now with you don't have to sign up for a cable subscription to be able to get some cable channels like ABC, CBS, HBO Go, and other things like that. Comcast has rolled out in Boston and I think Chicago a service called Stream TV, which you pay a small fee and you're able to stream, get it, Stream TV, stream these networks to your TV. This week, we're learning more about Stream TV, and it's, I don't know what Matt would call it. It's favorable not using your data cap. Well, that's how I look at it. Matt sees it a different way. So we'll have Matt kick off what he thinks this Stream TV is turning the internet into.
I like how they say that it will not, that they're not using the internet, but they're using their cable system.
That's not the internet.
It is. Isn't it all the same system?
I don't know how it works.
It's the same lines, right?
Well,
Right?
I don't know.
Well, I think it's concerning.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Well, because all these networks that are in agreements with Comcast to go with Stream TV to not count towards your data cap, isn't Comcast basically saying, well, you should watch these, not the others, because these ones will not count towards your data cap?
I think this is their service, so I don't think they're saying watch these networks. I think they're providing you an alternative to subscribing to cable, a cable box in which you watch TV on. So instead of buying that cable box and spending $100 on it, they're saying, hey, spend $20 and we'll give you the cable service that you normally have just without your box. What's the problem with that?
Well,
isn't that what the service is? Cable without the cable box?
it's cable over the internet.
No, well, they said it's coming down your cable line,
So if it's coming over the cable line,
which is different from your cable internet line.
no, it's all the same line.
No, that's what Comcast says.
Well,
I'm just listening to Comcast, and they're saying, listen, you can get cable, but you don't have to have a box. We call it Stream TV, not the internet.
it's internet video TV, which is what it is. You can call it whatever
We'll
you
call
want.
it IP-based. How about that?
Okay, fine. IP-based video over the internet,
Right.
right? What is IP? Internet protocol, so it's over the internet, right?
Through your cable.
Okay. It doesn't concern you that there's only a few stations on this and that they're
It's an alternative to a service that they're providing. You don't want to pay for the three. People complain about having 500 channels and only watching 5 of them. So why are they going to give you 500 channels? They'll give you 8 channels for a reduced price, and that's what you get. I don't see what the problem is.
I think the ultimate problem with this is it's still the data cap argument. That why is the data cap even in place? If Comcast didn't have a data cap, this
Then
wouldn't be a
people
problem.
would consume data like no one's business.
And why does that matter?
illegally.
Isn't that what you're paying for?
I believe I'm paying for fair use of the internet. I don't even get close to my 300 gigabyte data cap. I don't torrent things. I don't over-download things. I stream things, and streaming doesn't take the amount of bandwidth it does to download illegally movies, music, and books. And I think that's what they're trying to look out for. Just because it's a free internet doesn't mean everything on the internet's free and you should be able to get whatever you want. There's rules you have to follow. You should pay for things. And they're just trying to prevent people from getting services and things the correct way by putting a data cap on it.
So say one day we hit the big time.
One day,
One
I'm going to
day-
be a millionaire from
Yeah.
this podcast.
We start our own TV station.
All right.
And we want to stream it over the internet.
Fantastic. Let's stream.
And we go to Comcast and we say, hey, Comcast, why don't you carry our signal? And Comcast says, well, you got to pay us a ton of money to go into our pipes. Otherwise, you're going to count towards
You're like
cable data
everyone
caps.
else.
And then people aren't going to be able to watch it.
But
'cause
you're a
it's gonna count.
business.
You're not. Okay, well.
I'm a business.
No, you're a utility. You should be a utility.
The internet?
Yes.
Internet provider should be a utility. And who should run that utility?
It can still be privately run. It should be overseen by government agents.
Isn't the internet private or overseen by a government agency? Not a good one, but isn't it overseen by a government agency?
No.
We call it the FCC. Isn't that
Somewhat,
not
but
well?
not-
Isn't it looked by that though?
No, it's not. It's not viewed the same as power. It's not viewed the same as water. It's not viewed the same
How
as...
is it not viewed differently, or how is it not viewed the same?
It's not regulated in the same ways. Rates aren't regulated. Services aren't regulated. It's really not regulated at all.
Is it because the government agency is too slow? So what makes you think instituting another government agency to then play catch up to the internet will be any better than trying to get the FCC to get their butts in gear and start regulating this industry?
So your argument is
So
that
you're adding more bureaucracy to the bureaucracy that's already there, and that's your solution.
because it
That's
might,
the solution.
So because it might be difficult, there's no point in trying.
No, I'm saying use the existing bureaucracy that's in place and get their butts in gear to regulate this industry so it feels like the other utility companies.
That's where we're headed, slowly but surely. Well,
But you said we have to create a brand new government agency.
I
Why?
didn't
We
say
already have
needed,
one.
I didn't say we needed a new government agency.
I
said
believe
it
that's how
needs-
you started the conversation.
No, I think if we played the tape back, I don't think we would say that. I don't think those words.
you said
came
we
out
should
of
treat
my
it
mouth.
like a utility, and it should be run by a government agency. Those are your words, are they not?
It needs to be overseen by a government agency, just like your power company
So you're
is overseen
saying-
by a government agency.
I know, but what you're saying is the current government agency overseeing the internet and these companies
is not doing
is
their
not
job.
it's being oversaw by a government agency. That's what you're saying.
No, it's
you're
being-
saying we need to create a brand new government agency.
It's being air quote overseen by a government agency. It's not truly being overseen by a government agency. It's still very murky waters.
It's murky waters, right? So why are you going to create a brand new bureaucracy government agency to follow and to catch up with the internet when there's already one in place, instead of pressuring the current government agency who is supposedly watching over the internet to do their interwebs, to do their job? And I think that's the better conversation to have is how do we, as people in general and United States citizens wanting a better internet, right? I want 100 megs down and 100 megs up. That should be standard. I'm getting 20, subpar 20, right? How do we force the FCC to regulate something that should be essentially electricity?
They're trying. It's a process. It's not overnight.
You just said we have to start a new agency.
I didn't say we need to start a new agency. I said we need to start actually regulating.
That is not what you said.
That is what I said.
You said the internet needs to be oversaw by a government agency. And I said it already is overseen by a government
It's
agency.
not overseen by a government agency. It is air quotes overseen by a government. There
It's
is a huge
overseen.
difference.
There's no difference.
Yeah, there is a huge difference.
No, they have the jurisdiction and the power to do what they want to the internet. But because these cable companies are deciding to lobby and pay these CEOs big money of the FCC and the people on the FCC, that's the issue.
You know, I'm not going to argue with this on your point because ultimately we're arguing for this.
Who the hell do you think you
We're
are?
arguing for the same thing, right?
We're just arguing a different way.
Yeah, well, one's right, one's wrong. But
I say
that's
use
neither
the
here nor
existing
there.
platform and not start all over. That'll put you 50 years behind the current where you are now.
I think 50 years is a bit of a stretch.
25 years.
I'd also like to throw into this mix T-Mobile's Binge On service.
Binge On, what's that?
Have you heard of that?
I have not.
T-Mobile's Binge On service is very similar to Comcast Stream TV service in that you can watch Netflix, HBO Now, Hulu, Sling TV, and watch ESPN on your phone, and it does not count towards your data cap. So if you're watching one of those video services on your cell network, it does not count towards your data cap.
Good on T-Mobile. What's the problem with that?
Because
We go back to it's not equal to all businesses.
it's not equal to all businesses.
Is that your argument?
That is
It's
my argument.
capitalism.
It sets a very dangerous precedent.
They've been setting it for forever with Netflix getting into all these different things.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what?
Getting into all these things.
Getting into
what?
bed with everyone.
Like what? What?
Time Warner, getting into bed with them, getting into bed with Roku, all these things. It's all a business. How much you can pay matters and depends on what you get on and how you get there.
But there's never been a precedent set for prioritization of traffic over the internet.
QoS.
That's not. Don't know. That's not even remotely the same argument that we're making here.
I just threw it out there.
I know you're just
One
trying
of
to
the
throw
few
out
tech
acronyms.
words I know of a computer system. QoS. Quality of service.
That's completely different. In this instance,
I can see what you mean though.
and it's the same thing with Stream TV. Why is all internet traffic not treated equally? Why is certain internet traffic favored in a way that it puts it above other internet traffic?
So you want porn to come at the same rate as Netflix? Is that what you're saying?
That's a bit of a stretch
But
argument.
that's what you're saying. All content should be treated equally on the internet.
Then yes.
Okay. Well,
Yes.
as long as we have you saying that you want porn to come in at the same rate and same quality and be available anywhere as children programming is, then that's what you're saying.
Okay, so then let me pose another question to you. There's a
I can't wait.
There's a small local library.
I want Greg back.
I know. At this point, Greg would be saying, "You guys need to shut up and move
Yeah.
on."
In a nutshell.
So
but
we'll
he's
mil-
not. So
we'll
we'll
milk
keep
this
going.
until he comes back.
Noted.
There's a small local
Small
library.
local library. Let's call them Neal Public Library. Go ahead.
Call them Neal Public Library,
Great.
and they have this awesome new website, and they
Love
want to
it.
stream these educational videos.
Mhm.
But
But
they go to Time Warner.
They
and
go to
say,
Time
"Hey,
Warner.
Time Warner, our site's loading a little bit slow. How come Netflix loads so much faster?"
Mhm.
Time Warner says, "Well, Netflix
get a better server. That's what Time Warner will say.
So can we just jump back to, because I could see you're just completely lost on this. You don't think that all traffic on the internet should be equal.
No, I don't.
What should differentiate traffic?
I don't know. It's not my call to make, but I don't think it should.
Does it work?
I think people who pay more should get more.
So, and by pay more, you
But
mean Netflix.
that doesn't mean throttle the other people down so much that it becomes an unusable site or service.
But by definitions, by speeding up others, you are slowing down others.
Now you just make a better infrastructure.
No, if you make an
if Google
if you make
took
an
over
if
the
you
United
make
States of America
okay
and laid down fiber infrastructure across this entire country, we wouldn't have an issue. But go ahead. Back to your.
what does that have to do with?
It's the
Their
it's the
priority.
pipe. The pipe's not big enough.
So if
We make a big enough pipe, everyone will
so now
will
because
get their own piece of the pipe.
but everyone does have a piece of the pipe.
It's a very small pipe. We are like the 25th or 26th fastest internet services in the world.
So
And we're the United States of America.
so you're saying
Gosh darn it. Love America. Hate the internet.
so you're saying that because the pipe is not big
Tiny.
enough,
Yep. People
companies.
who pay more should get more of the pipe.
Do you mean people or companies?
People, companies, whatever. Whoever
No,
wants
they're
to
very
pay.
very different. The consumer or the creator?
The creator.
The creator.
Creator
So if
should
the
pay.
creator pays more money,
You should get more of the pipe.
it should be easier to access their content.
Exactly.
So then how is a small company ever supposed to get off the ground?
Pay more money. I don't know.
Money
I
they-
can't help you. It's capitalism.
It's not capitalism. It should be
Survival
a
of
public
the
utility.
fittest. Survival of the fittest.
Does it worry you that educational content that
No.
doesn't have as much money as Netflix won't be able to get on the internet?
No.
Really?
Education is so well protected in the world of the internet and in the world of business that the education it's not going to take a hit. Trust me, it's not.
I just feel like you're not really throwing out any facts. You're just talking.
Isn't that the best way to win an argument, though? You just out-talk the other person, and boom,
And I don't know.
the conversation is done.
Well,
Put me through to the Pentagon.
well, it worries me
Why does it worry you?
because it creates these highways for certain companies that are willing to sign these deals,
It's true.
and it's very concerning
Concerning you because the small man's not coming out on top.
because it takes a once level playing field and just completely flips it on its head.
Will people be more upset if Netflix can't be seen on their mobile device, or will they be more upset if a website that's got 5 views a day doesn't work? Which one will they be more upset with?
You're looking at it the wrong way.
I'm looking at it from a consumer standpoint.
No, you're looking at
From
it
a consumer
No.
standpoint, I'd rather Netflix and what I watch every night to come through very nicely, very clearly, and very quick.
From a consumer standpoint, I don't know
That's
what
my
kind
consumer.
I don't know what kind of consumer you are. From my consumer standpoint, if I'm paying for internet, anything I want on the internet should come in great. I shouldn't have
Well, then you pay more. If you want that to happen, you pay more as a consumer. Because content provider, it's going to come from somewhere. Either you pay more for wanting more speed and wanting an equal playing field, or the content provider has to pay more. Someone's got to pay. We all can't just say, hey, I want it all for $20 a month. It's not going to happen.
But paying for a faster download speed at my house isn't going to change the proportion of the highway for these services.
If someone pays more, I guarantee that it'll change the highway.
So your solution to this problem,
Someone's got to pay.
Your
Consumer or content, someone's got to pay.
so your solution,
That's all I'm saying.
Your solution to this argument
I don't have a solution.
of net neutrality is that consumers
I don't
aren't
have a
paying
solution.
enough. You're saying consumers
I'm saying
aren't
someone's not paying
enough.
enough, and someone's not regulating. That's what I'm saying.
So content creators should have to pay more to improve the internet.
Yeah, we should pay more.
So we should currently have to pay more.
If we want more people to see it, sure. But Google pays for us.
Thank
so
you,
we can do
Google.
this show. Thanks, Google. This show's sponsored by Google.
As you can see in the top left of your screen.
Anywhere you can see it's YouTube and Google. I'm just saying, someone's got to pay more. And someone needs to regulate this better, which I think is the better question. Who's going to regulate it, and how are we going to play catch up? Is that not the question? Are you saying it doesn't need to be regulated better?
I'm saying it does need to be regulated better.
By who?
But your answer, your comments of, well, people need to pay more, I think is just absolutely ridiculous.
Well, I come from a capitalist society. Someone's got to pay. Final thoughts, Matt. Final thoughts.
That you're wrong.
I'm wrong. Good. At least we got that out of the way. Kanale's wrong. Matt's right. Net neutrality. Well, you'll take a back seat until next show. All right. Moving on.
What's on Matt's mind?
I can tell you what's on Matt's mind, but I'll let him tell you. Matt, what's on your mind this week?
Just how wrong you are.
Great.
I'm going to use my segment, and I'm going to continue this conversation. And you're going to sit there and you're going to listen.
I'm going to listen.
The internet should be a public utility. This whole you pay us more, and our customers will be able to reach you better and reach you at an unlimited amount is absolutely ridiculous.
I have a question.
Yes.
Am I allowed to interrupt you in your what's on Matt's mind
You
segment?
get one interruption.
Just one question.
You
One
get
question.
one interruption.
What does the term utility company mean to you? That's my question.
They provide.
And I won't rebuttal. Just a question. What does a utility company mean to you, and how does the internet move to that direction?
They provide a utility that's necessary.
Okay,
the
so it's
public.
like when my son says,
thought you
what
said
does
you
the
weren't-
word good mean? Well, the word good means good. You can't use the word in the definition of being a utility company is being a utility company. So I'm asking you again, what do you consider a utility company, and how does the internet move to become that utility company, or the IP provider, whatever you want? How does that move to being the utility company that you think it should be?
Well, a utility is something that's required or beneficial, useful for society, right? Your
I agree.
utilities, you need your power, you need your water.
And I think internet should be lumped into that.
It should be.
That's what I just said.
How do we get there?
That's exactly what I'm saying. How do we get the internet to where it is now to become a utility that is, one, beneficial for consumers, two, beneficial for content creators, and three, beneficial for the companies who are running the internet for us, who are providing us the internet, the Comcast, the Time Warners, the Google Fibers? How does it become beneficial for all three of those people to come together and this system to come together so it's beneficial for all?
Well, your third point is pretty much the only one I need to address.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's that this idea of profitability off of this needs to go away. And it will one day. The idea will go away one day.
Doesn't an electric company profit off of the bill they send me?
Yeah, they do profit, but they're not profiting at this 1,000-time percentage that cable companies are doing now.
Do you know that for a fact?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you
That
know
is a fact.
as long as you know that the cable companies are benefiting $1,000 more than the electric company, then I'll take your word
I said
for
1,000 times.
Whatever.
You gotta learn.
So you're saying that the companies are just putting that money in their pocket and doing absolutely nothing with it.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
So they're not investing in faster services. They're
Nope.
not investing in better servers. They're not investing in people who know what they're doing.
Nope. They're taking that
good.
money,
Good.
they're investing a small percentage into growing the infrastructure, and then they're investing a large percentage into lobbying to protect themselves, and a large percentage into obtaining other companies in order to grow their monopoly.
So what if the FCC said, hey, you keep your gobs of money that you're charging your consumers, but I'm going to take 50% of that and you're going to invest it into the infrastructure. But you as a consumer pay the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yes.
So you're just pissed about how they're spending their money and putting it in their pocket.
Yes.
Great.
Also,
At least we got to the underlying meaning of why Matt's so upset.
Comcast and Time Warner and
I love Time Warner.
not Google, just Comcast and Time Warner,
Why can't everyone be like Google?
they're becoming Enron.
Enron. Look how that ended.
Exactly. And what did the fall of Enron teach us?
Don't know.
Really?
I don't know.
When Enron when Enron collapsed, we realized that we need to start regulating the power industry, that it was getting out of hand, that a company could one day decide, hey, we're going to jack up prices and we're going to cut off service to hold people hostage. And we realized, hey, we need to start regulating the power industry, which is exactly what's going to happen with the internet industry. We're going to realize we need to start regulating prices. We need to start creating a system to regulate these prices and to regulate price increases. And we're going to regulate the industry as a whole so that you can't create a company, do nothing, and take everyone's money.
Great. So what you're saying is you wouldn't mind paying $200 a month for internet if you know that Comcast, Time Warner, or anyone is investing in bringing faster internet to you.
But you're operating under the assumption that the adding more oversight would increase the cost of it.
No, I'm not saying adding more oversight. I'm just saying if they decide a rate should be flat rate $200, you don't mind spending $200 if the government agency said this is a fair rate, but knowing that they'll invest in infrastructure in your area.
Well,
A.
That wouldn't happen. Because if it was classified as a utility, it would be priced in a way that would actually make it affordable for everyone to have access to, just like power and just like water. And B, whatever it was priced at, if you could guarantee me that it had this...
They're not going to guarantee you.
Well, if it was controlled in the same way, where it would have the same redundancies and the same reliability as my power and my water, absolutely.
All right. What if, last question, and then we'll move on. What if, where's my question going? Something to the effect of...
Can't answer.
No, I got it. Came back. So what if the government agency says, all right, here's what our rate is going to be. So every internet provider has to provide this rate.
Mm-hmm.
And the internet provider says, meh, I'll go make money somewhere else. And they jump out of the game. Beneficial?
Then I guarantee you someone will step in. I guarantee you that if that happened and an area went to Google and said, we have all these lines, do you want to take over? They would jump on it and say, absolutely.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see. And that is what's on Matt's mind.
On Matt's mind.
We'll ask Greg when he comes back what he thinks, but he'll probably go, what? Just kidding, Greg. Greg's not watching. He has no electricity.
How does the internet work?
All right. From Matt's mind to...
Baby got fat.
Oh, this is my
This is
line.
your line.
Oh. The crowdfunding revolution has begun.
Revolution.
With sites such as Indiegogo, Kickstarter, and countless more. This week, we head off to Indiegogo. Kanale, what project are we looking at today?
Well, Matt, thanks for asking. This week, we go to the world of Indiegogo, and we look at a product called the Cube. Spelled incorrectly, but, you know, not everyone...
Send him an email.
Not everyone can be perfect like Matt and I. But this is the Cube, the world's most affordable Wi-Fi smart bulb. Take a listen.
This is Cube, the next generation smart light bulb. Cube automates your light at home, so you never have to come back to a dark house again. Cube can sense when you are entering or leaving the room.
So first, it was hard to watch the video with the overmodulated audio. I'm just saying that, Cube people, if you're watching, make sure your video audio sounds better next time.
It's
Anyways,
the most important part.
that's what I'm saying.
Audio is the most important part.
As of the recording of this podcast, they are funded 182%. So their goal was $50,000, and currently they sit at $90,000. So just under $91,000. That's pretty good. And they how many days? They have 27. They have a whole month left to go.
Whoa.
Yeah. So they're gonna kick some butt here. So here's what the Cube is essentially. So have you heard of the smart bulbs before?
I have.
So for those of you who haven't, there's some companies that sell these smart light bulbs out there. The Philips Hue. Who else sells a smart bulb? I think Hue's probably the most popular one.
Yeah, he's the one I've seen everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
So Hue kind of has this domination of smart bulbs, which is fine. Essentially, it's a hub you have to buy that's about $150, right?
Yeah.
And that connects to the internet, which then allows you to control from your smartphone the bulbs that then talk to the hub. So you buy a $150 hub, and then you buy $60, $70 light bulbs to put into your light fixtures. So this company said, hey, let's turn that world upside down and create these single bulbs that don't require a hub. And so that's essentially what it is. It's a smart light bulb that's controlled from your smartphone, so it can change colors. It can go with the weather, so it can tell you the weather by just the lighting tone. It can apparently show you if you're looking for keys and your keys are nearby. It'll start blinking
That's
that
pretty
light.
freaking cool.
Yeah. What else can it? It can do a bunch of stuff without having to buy the hub, which I think is the most pretty cool thing. Is you don't have to buy this $75 or $150 thing, and then the bulbs on top of that. You can set different color temperatures to your house. You can get notifications from your light bulbs, and again, it's all affordable. It works with the iPhone, Apple, Android, Windows Phone. Oh wow, look at that! Look
All
at that!
6 of them.
Windows phones, the BlackBerry's all one of them. Works with your OS X system, which I guess they're on El Capitan. Is that still OS X?
Yep.
All right, Windows 10, and even works with Linux, so pretty wide base there. It also works with the iWatch app. Apparently, that's the only smartphone that this works with. Tech
Watch.
specs. That's what I said. What did I
You
say?
said smartphone.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, you weren't wrong. It is very smart, and it will be a phone, but
We'll get there, though.
yeah.
Tech specs on this bulb is 2 inches wide by 4 inches tall. Don't know what that means, but that's cool.
I know when
I
I'm
don't
shopping
go-
for light bulbs, I measure.
I go with the measurement of the light. So the stage they're in, they started this project in September of 2013. So now they're in there developing the prototype. They just finished the prototype. And so now they're going for Indiegogo. And so that's where they are. They'll present it at CES 2016, which I'm pretty sure will be a pretty big hit when they do that. And then they're looking to ship it out in June 2016 to the people who are backing. So it's all part of this Internet of Things that we talk about. And on the Indiegogo website, they have what the prototype looks like. And it looks a little ghetto, I'm not going to lie. But I'm sure once they send it off to manufacturing and molding and things like that, it'll look a little better. But that's not a bad-looking prototype there.
That's not.
Yeah. So essentially, you're getting a light bulb that is controlled by your smartphone. What I wasn't sure about is if you can control a bunch of lights together. So the hub can kind of control 5 lights at once. I'm not sure if this one is able to control 5 lights at once, or if you have to connect to each light as you change them.
Yeah.
Don't know until you actually get it. So essentially, what I'm asking for this baby got backed or not is, would you buy, and this price is going to change after tonight's podcast. So as you can tell, the date is this is for the early bird special. It's going to expire this evening. But anyways, it's 10 bulbs at $160. Once this evening goes away, it'll be 10 bulbs at $190, I think. $190. So we'll go with that one. 10 bulbs at $190. That's $19 a bulb. No hub, right? No $70 bulbs you have to buy on top of the hub. So it's $19 a bulb, essentially, being able to control it with your phone or your computer or your tablet device. What do you think? Thoughts? Questions?
What are those?
Not that I can answer it, but
What are those 3 reasons to love Cube that are right
3 reasons to love
at the
Cube.
bottom of your screen?
Oh, 3 reasons to love Cube. A typical multi-color LED light costs about $50. Cube start at 16 or 19, whatever. It's hubless and a future hub. Cube doesn't require you to purchase an external hub, and Cube senses your presence through a Bluetooth and some geofencing. Those are 3 reasons to love the Cube. What are your thoughts?
I like it.
Well, good thing Matt's a man of a lot of words here.
No, I really do. I'm all about this smart home movement and getting things on online for control.
See, it scares me.
Really?
The Internet of Things scares me.
It scares you.
It scares me.
Why does it scare
The
you?
light bulbs I could do, but the being able to unlock my house door with my cell phone or the Internet of Things, not there yet.
Why? Why does that scare you?
I think it's hackable, and I think it's scary. Maybe not in the city I live in, but I don't think it's secure enough to be able to provide me security, a secure feeling, knowing that when I go away, my home is safe. Not that a key does any better.
So you're concerned that having a door lock
Mm-hmm.
that you can unlock over the internet is unsecure.
Yep. The Internet of
How
Things
is that any
not
different
secure.
than using a boot,
A boot? What's a boot?
kicking the door in?
Well, it's obvious if you kick the door in. I think people will notice if you kick a door in. If the door just opens, I don't think people are going to notice. That's a weird analogy. What about the boot?
I guess just looking at it, like, yeah, it's hackable, but
It's hackable. But so is it a door.
someone can throw a rock through my
I
window
know, I'm
and get
just
in my
not
house
there
anyway.
yet. I'm just not there yet.
So for the other 364 days out of the year, it's a hell of a lot more
I'm not
convenient
there
for me.
yet.
Are you? But you're either for the smart bulbs. You like those?
I like the bulbs. So we have to ask, Matt, are you going to back the product or are you not?
I'm gonna back it.
Hallelujah.
It looks cool.
We got to vote for
I'm
one
really
back.
excited, and I'd really love
So
to see this succeed.
10 bulbs, $190. You'll
not
do
about
it.
Yeah.
All right.
Even looking at regular LED bulbs now.
They're like $20.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is basically the same thing, right? Just
But it's a
with
smart.
Wi-Fi added on.
Yeah.
So
Maybe, who knows if it's going to work, but you'll at least get a bulb out of it.
yeah. At the end of the day, worst thing that'll happen,
You'll
I'll buy
have
the
a
light
bulb. Right.
Yeah.
All right. So for me, back or no back, definitely a back. Oh, my
Good.
God. I think it's the first time we both agree.
We agreed.
This project,
Baby got back.
and I think before the show, Matt said that he'd actually back it
Yeah.
with his own money.
I will.
He's going to do it right now on the internet. No, right now on the internet. You could possibly see his screen on the Google Hangout.
And
But
it might
there you go.
It might crash our stream if I try.
Right. We don't want to do that. So if you have a chance, Indiegogo, the project is called Cube, the world's most affordable Wi-Fi smart bulb. And it got...
Baby got back.
I think if Greg was here, he'd back it too.
I think so too.
I'm confident that he would back that project.
I mean, maybe not right now in his current state.
Right, because you have no electricity.
Yeah,
but
but his phone could tell him, "Hey, you have no power."
hey, dumbass, you got no Wi-Fi, so we can't tell you if you have power or not. That's a cool project.
That is.
I'm gonna talk to my wife, see if we can get it.
There's
She'll probably say no, but it's
Yeah.
a cool project.
There's another one floating around. I don't want to take too much time on this, but It was
We got the internet.
it was to replace all of your furnace vents, all your furnace registers.
Yeah,
in
that
your
sounds
rooms.
dumb. Matt doesn't understand how furnace vents work.
Oh, we already went over this, didn't we?
We did.
What? I don't
We
understand
did.
why that was such a bad idea. I thought,
Because here's the thing. Most houses have one central location that the temperature is taken from.
yes.
It doesn't have individual sensors.
Well, you put one in each room.
Do you know how much money that cost?
Why wouldn't you? There's a few things I don't understand.
All right, we'll move on from baby. It's a whole nother conversation you don't want to get rolling. Trust me. All right, from baby got back to what's trending.
What's trending?
These stingers Greg put together. Love it. All right, so let me set the scene for you for this what's trending clip. So there's a couple who's very excited about an announcement. So I think it's the wife's parents. They set the parents down and they say, put on these noise-canceling headphones and we'll put some music to it and repeat what we say, right? So they're reading the lips of what these people say. So with that, here's a clip from YouTube since it posted over the weekend. 3.5 million views. I set the scene. Here's what happened. Maybe. I got to hit play.
Ready? Yep. Okay.
We're going to listen to the end.
I'm pregnant.
Hyper.
I'm pregnant.
Hyper.
Yeah.
Keep saying it. Keep saying
You're
it.
going to be, you're going to be grandparent.
Keep saying it.
You're going to be a grandparent.
Short.
You're going to be a grandparent.
Do you want me to what?
You are.
You are.
To.
You are.
be-
You are mean.
You are.
You are lovely.
Going. You are.
You
going
are going
to
to
be.
beach. You are going to the beach.
You are going to be.
You
a-
are going to beach and
Be a.
what?
You are going to be a
I'm going to behave.
grandfather.
I'm a father.
Grandfather.
A great father.
Grandfather.
Grandfather.
Yes.
I'm going to be a grandfather.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to be a grandfather. I'm going to be a grandfather. I'm going to be a grandfather. Yes. Oh, we're going to be grandfather. I can't believe that. Are you going to? You're pregnant.
He got it. He's going to be a grandfather. Oh, wrong button. He got it. He's going to be a grandfather. That was funny. That was funny, right?
That was good.
That was a creative way to do it.
It was.
The mom instantly got it.
Immediately got it.
Immediately got it.
But
The
she was
dad-
good enough to just wait her time.
Right. She knew what was going on.
Yeah.
That was good. So we'll post that on our website, bandwidthboys.com. But 3.5 million views. Craziness.
Crazy.
What's trending?
And that was your What's Trending clip of the week. 3.5 million views. That's awesome. That's thanks to the free internet, right? All right. We'll move to this. Time for the final segment of the night, our rants and raves. I think this week we both have rants. Who wants to go first?
You can go first.
All right, I'll go first. So, here's my rant. I am not happy. Matt's like, well, what's the difference in a normal day? Well, here's what happened. So, I think maybe 3 years ago, my wife, my lovely wife, bought me some Bose headphones. Some Bose noise-canceling headphones. I take pretty good care of it. Goes back in the case every night, every day, every time I use it. Lightly used. I go to turn it on maybe 2 weeks ago. Nothing. Nada. Zippo. No light. And if there's no light, you get no sound. Apparently, the light switch not only controls the noise-canceling portion of it, but also controls the sound coming into it.
Yep.
So I nicely tweeted the people at Bose. And I said, hey, what's going on? They said hi. Very nice at first, I guess. They go, all right, give us your serial number. And then they nicely say, well, it's out of warranty.
Yep.
And they said, well, since it's out of warranty, we'll be happy. I'll read it to you. We'll be happy to provide you a new pair, but it's got an associated cost with it.
Is it a ton?
No, it's $119 to upgrade them or to get a new replacement, or $199 one to buy the current model, which is normally $300. So it's a $100 discount.
Yeah.
Here's my problem, and here's why I'm so pissed off. I barely use the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Barely used it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
I could see if my kids decided to take it out of the bag and start twisting it and throwing it against the wall. None of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a product that didn't last.
Well, are you sure your kids didn't do that?
Yeah, it was in my laptop bag. They couldn't get into it.
Oh.
So I'm not going to spend $119 for something that's going to last 3 years and it's gone.
Have it break again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask Matt for help on a new headset. Doesn't have to be noise canceling. We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll talk to Greg the next show. But I'm not going with Bose. Pissed with Bose.
I don't like Bose in general.
I think they said it sounded okay. The best part I liked about it was the noise canceling part. Use it on some headphones to Hawaii. Worked good. Worked really well.
But there are plenty of noise canceling.
That's
headphones
right.
That work.
But I'm done. Bose, toodles.
Yeah.
Done.
About
Pissed.
About freaking time.
But you're making a product that doesn't
Good
even
for you.
last.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most pissed about. And then like, oh, just pay $120 for a new pair. That's not the point. Your product didn't last. And it was lightly used. It's not like I used it every day. I barely used the damn thing. Broken. Gone. These little cheap iPhone headphones that come with your iPhone, they work.
Hey.
They still work.
Oh, hey, can I ask you a question?
No, I'm still going on my rant.
Who makes those?
Probably Apple. Some
Oh.
Chinese
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Some
Weird.
Chinese guy in a factory
Weird how Apple things
makes it.
last.
I don't think they make it. I think the Chinese people make it.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure Apple
I get it.
headquarters isn't just making the earbuds in the basement.
Jimmy Iovine is now the head of Apple Music, so he's probably making these with his hands.
Oh, Apple Music.
But that's my rant.
Well, good.
Bose. I don't like you. All right. That was a solid rant, right?
That was. I think you used up all our rant time.
Okay, good.
That's fine.
And that's it.
Yeah.
You got another one. Go ahead.
Do I?
Yep.
I
You
have
got a
the s-
rant.
I have the same rant I've been
You might
having
as
all night.
well.
Yeah.
You might as well milk it.
I mean, I'll just put this out there, and someone can tell me that I'm wrong. But someone give me a good argument why internet shouldn't be a public utility. Tweet it at us, post it on our wall,
Somewhere.
message us, put it on our website. I don't care.
Matt will see it. Anywhere you put it, Matt will find it and he'll talk about it.
Someone give me a good reason why internet should not be a public utility. Thank you.
Are you happy now?
Tech support. Question of privilege.
All right, this week's tech question. How do you stay safe on your smartphone, especially when giving it to your kids? Now, Connolly, you have kids.
I got 4 of them.
Do you
4 little rug rats.
Do you ever give them your smartphone?
Never.
Oh.
I give him my iPad, not smartphone.
Do you
Same
use,
concept,
Do
though.
you use restrictions on your iPad? To lock
I
it?
don't, but I should. And that's the number 1 rule that we're going to talk about. What are some ways to keep your kids safe when they're on your tablet and phone? So here's where this question came from. My wife's friend has a son that's about 9 or 10, and he got his first cell phone, first smartphone.
An
Off
iPhone?
into the little world. Got a little iPhone.
Oh, yeah.
Got
Start
a
'em
little
early. You gotta start 'em
iOS.
young.
Yeah, because it works, right? That's why you get it. It works. So he got his little iPhone. The boy came home one day. Naughty pictures on the phone.
Naughty pictures on the
Naughty
phone.
pictures on the phone. The boy says, wasn't me. I gave my phone to a friend to get some naughty pictures on it. I don't know. So then she asked, what are some things I could do to prevent my son from getting naughty pictures on the phone? I said, cut the data. Cut the data.
That's a pretty extreme.
I know. All right. So what are some things you can do? Well, some pretty basic ones are to put restrictions on it, right?
Yeah.
To put age restrictions on your, and the iOS has tons of age restriction things you can put on it, from what they can view online to the apps they can download, things like that. And it's free. It's built into the iOS system.
Yeah. And it's actually pretty intense as I'm looking at right now.
It's a lot of menus. Right? It controls what apps they can use. It
Yeah, so
controls.
you can do all the basics. You can like turn off Safari, turn off camera, turn off FaceTime, turn off installing apps, turn off in-app purchases.
Can they turn it right back on though?
No, well, you need a passcode, and I think
Okay.
you can use a different passcode then.
Then the unlock one.
Yeah, and then you have your allowed content, so you can do all your MPAA ratings. You can turn off, you can block out explicit content from the store. You can set approved ratings for movies, and then you can go into websites and you can limit adult content. Which
There it is. Built
is
in.
Limit access to many adult websites automatically. That's very. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even know my
Didn't
phone
even
could do
know.
that.
So that's one thing. Use the built-in restrictions on your phone. Android, iOS, they both have it built in. iOS, I think, has a little more features than the Android does.
I'd
but
say a lot more features.
okay, anyways, no matter what iOS or OS system you're using, iOS or Android, there are built-in things you should use. So automatically turn those on. You give it to a kid, make sure you go through those settings to make sure all those things are turned on that you don't want them to see.
Yep.
Two. Lock the App Store.
Absolutely.
Kids
lock
should
the
not
App Store.
be able to download things without your permission. So lock the App Store, put a passcode. I mean, if they want to, right, they can get onto the App Store, but lock it so they can't purchase it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can add a passcode, 4-digit passcode that is preferably different from your unlock code.
And absolutely disable in-app purchases.
And absolutely, no matter how many times they want to upgrade Angry Birds, don't let them.
Because that is a real quick way to be real poor.
And I think one of the most important things to tell to when you give the smartphone to your kid is to have that conversation about how to use a smartphone, how to be safe on the smartphone, and if you decide not to be safe on the smartphone, I'm taking it away.
Yeah.
Like, you got to have that conversation with the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And that kid has to know this smartphone stays in my hands.
Yep.
Keep it away from the friends, and it stays in your hands.
Can't be blaming those friends.
So there's just a few things that you could do to keep your kids safe when they're on a cell. I mean, I get giving your kid a cell phone, maybe not 9 or 10, but I get it, right? They're going to school. You want to know where they are. You want them to keep in touch, especially in Pullman when it starts to snow. You're wondering where the bus routes are, things like that. So I can see giving a cell phone to a kid at a young age, but you got to have that conversation with them. You got to go through all the settings, and you have to show them what they can and can't do, because this is brand new territory to them. Don't make the assumption that they know how to use a smartphone and use it correctly. Am I right?
And don't make the assumption they won't know how to get into trouble if you
Because
don't
they will.
lock stuff down.
They will. I mean, if you type in GOO.com, I'm sure it'll take you to a naughty website. Don't type it in. I don't know where it takes you. But I'm just saying, right? These crooks and these porn sites, they're very creative about their URLs. They take well-known companies and they flip around the letters so that if you mistype it, boom, it's there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your kid get there.
Mm-hmm.
Turn on the anti-porn things on your phone. And
Also,
things like that.
I think, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure Apple has, if you're on an Apple family and you're coded on as a kid, that you can still lock out the App Store and the kid can go in, pick an app they want to buy, and then it sends a request to you as the parent
That's
on the
cool.
account saying, hey, your kid wants to buy this. Either
That's
approve
awesome.
it or deny it. And the kid can't flat out just go buy everything he sees, which is pretty cool.
Good to know. All right, so those are a few ways of keeping your kids safe. You got anything else?
Well, I have my tech tip of the day while I'm
Oh,
in,
God,
while
we
I'm
got a
in my
tech tip of the day. We
restrictions.
don't have a stinger for that.
I know.
So you can't do
Well,
it.
This is a quickie. For those people out there
All righty.
who have an iPhone and there's things like podcasts and news and iBook Store and iTunes Store, those apps you can't get rid of, you can actually just go
Right.
into your restrictions and lock those out, and it'll pull them off your home screen.
Nice.
It's a quick way.
I think everyone should do that.
it's a quick way to hide some of the ones you never use. So you can't do it for all of them, but a few of them.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go.
You learned something today.
You learn something every day. Matt's tech tip.
Yeah.
And how to keep your kids safe when giving them a smartphone. All right. You got questions? Oh, I should probably roll this. Hold on. Let me look for it.
Tech support. Question of privilege.
I don't even know what question of privilege means, but I'm going to use it every time.
It probably means something we really don't.
We really don't need. All right, got a tech question. Want us to help? We'd be glad to. Simply email your questions to questions@bandwidthboys.com. If you want to join us live next Sunday on the podcast, leave your Google ID or your Gmail address, and we'll connect with you. And if you don't, we can ask a question for you. You can also connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, any way you want. Just send those questions in, and we'll be happy to answer your questions. Right?
Yep.
And you can't stump us. We got IT guy there, we got video guy here, and we got audio guy who's not here. But he's just trying to live, stay warm. All right. And with that, we close another edition of the Bandwidth Boys podcast. Thanks for joining us. If you miss anything live, don't worry. You can download it or listen to our podcast by using iTunes. What do they search on iTunes?
Bandwidth Boys. That's it.
There was a
Bandwidth
website,
Space
but-
Boys.
Bandwidth Space Boys. That's on iTunes, right? And if you subscribe to it, it'll automatically download the newest podcast. And usually we try and get it up as soon as we are done with the show. So you can do that, or your favorite podcast app. On my Android phone, I use Podcast Addict and get it that way. Also, some ways you can listen and watch.
Bandwidth Boys Podcast. Facebook, Bandwidth Boys Podcast. Twitter, @GMK Podcast. Web, bandwidthboys.com. Bandwidth Boys Podcast.
And with that, I'm Kanale.
And I can't find my cursor. And I'm Matt.
We'll talk to you next time. Same place, same time, same old shenanigans and the old guy. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Again, just a programming note. We won't be on the air next week, Sunday, November 29th, Thanksgiving. We'll be too fat and tired by then. Sleeping, probably. But Greg will be back the week after that, and we'll be back in better than ever. Right here on the Bandwidth Boys podcast. Keep on teching on. Good night.